guys, this morning I'll be showing you how to trim a jar. I'm still making sure I have everything I need real fast. Okay, so to start off, this is going to be a sugar jar. I threw it, I believe, on Monday. So it's going to be that. These are both leather hard, so as I'm touching them, this doesn't move at all. It's pretty firm. The bottom also is firm. If you feel any sort of like caving in right here, or it feels wet or soft, make sure that you let it harden up just a little bit. Yeah. So to center it, I have my fancy Diamond Core Sticky Bat. It's nice because I don't have to use clay to stick down my piece. If you want to, for you guys, you're gonna have to still. But like these shapes are a little bit harder to stick down. If you're using clay lugs, I would do a big chunk that connects to the larger part of your piece. Otherwise, if you just stick it to the very bottom, it can start moving around more. So first I'm just gonna center this as normal. So sticking my fingers out, when it touches, I'm gonna stop the wheel, push it just slightly away from me, and then do it again until it's even the whole way around. So it's touching my finger the whole way around. That's pretty even. So then if you're gonna put clay on, make sure you're pressing down while you're sticking the lugs on. If you don't have that hand on top holding it in place, as you push the lugs on, it can push it back off center. Usually you're gonna use tools like these loop tools, like this one or this one to trim. I have my fancy one I'm gonna use, but the concept's still gonna be the same. So this is my fancy one. This is a Mud Tools, I don't remember the exact name of it, but I like it because it has multiple sharp edges and a curved edge, so I can make any shape with that. So I'm just gonna start trimming this as per normal. If you were making one of these, you probably have made other things before and trimmed others, so I'm not gonna worry too much about talking through all that. Now I'm just smoothing out all my clay, making it nice and smooth. I might carve this one a little bit, maybe not, we'll see. It's a pretty firm press down because I don't have clay on the bottom. And then we're gonna trim a little bit up here. Trimming like normal. So this is how I applied my signature. I have underglaze. It's Amico Velvet Underglaze. It's just white. And I stick a brush in it and just very gently, I make a circle on the bottom. Then I'll let that dry to leather hard, and then I just write my name in it with a ballpoint pen. And like, I'm not using the ink part, it's just the pen. That's how I create my signature. I'm gonna wipe around these edges to make sure everything's nice and smooth. And then comes the fun part. So get rid of those. And then I'm gonna flip it over and center it on this side. So I'm gonna make sure this is all. So I've got my gallery in here. My lid should fit right in there, which maybe the lid's a little small, maybe everything hasn't shrunk yet, but so it's gonna sit right on top of there. So to trim it, I know that the inside of this is basically a bowl shape. Okay, so as I trim it, instead of making it like a bowl with a foot on the bottom, hold on, instead of making a foot on the bottom, I'm just gonna have it curve and imitate the shape on the inside of the bowl. So it's gonna become that lid right there. So it's gonna go upside down. So I'm gonna curve all of this until I get to that top point, okay? You can actually, after you center the bottom part, you can actually put clay on the top to hold the lid on and trim the lid while it's on the pot so you can have it look exactly like you want it to. So then you're gonna put the lid on. Mine's not quite perfectly wide enough, so I'm just gonna try to make it as centered as I can and then get some clay. So I got just a little bit of clay. Again, I'm gonna hold that lid on because I don't want it to move. I'm just gonna put a little bit of clay on between the pot and the lid to help hold that in place. And again, just like for normal centering, I want 3 pieces of clay around at least to make sure it holds it on really well. We'll take these off at the end, so it's not a big deal. Instagram keeps turning off. Okay, so I've got my 3 lugs on here, holding on my lid. Again, I'm going to use my fancy tool, and then I'm going to go from the top down. I don't want to get to those lugs, but I should have a decent idea. You can always use the needle tool and figure out how thick your bottom is on your lid. And now that's off center. I might have to put clay on here. Let me switch backs, guys, sorry. Again, for smaller pieces, you can use the bat head to center, to trim, is what I mean by that. All right. So again, I still have my finger on there. Even though I've got clay, it's going to help hold it in place. It's also going to steady my hands. Instagram drives me crazy, guys. It keeps on stopping my video. All right, so just a slight more. And I'm gonna smooth it. All right. Okay, so that's a pretty good top. So now we're actually gonna touch this just so it stays. We're gonna make a knob on top. So I'm actually gonna throw it. So be right back with my clay. So throwing a knob on top is exactly what it sounds like, where I've just got a little tiny ball of clay. I'm gonna roll it into a ball, okay? And we're gonna make a little knob. So to connect one piece to another, you wanna make sure you score really well anywhere that clay is gonna touch. Score both. And when you get a little bit of water, I'm gonna stick it on there as close to center as I can, because we're gonna basically throw the knob. So it's an itty bitty tiny knob. You don't want lots of water because it's gonna drip down into your pot. So get your fingers wet. Just like we do normally, as you start setting, you're gonna push down first to make sure it's all the way connected. Keep your hands really steady. And going up. I'm gonna push back down. Probably too much water. See guys, it's like barely want any water. Just be nice and patient. I'm just kind of using my fingernail to trim off any extra on there. So as you think about a knob, you want to think through, I touch this so it doesn't turn off. You want to think through how you're going to pick up this. If I just have it like this, it's going to be kind of hard. I have to pinch right here to pick up. So you want a knob that goes over the fingers enough to just get a little bit stuck as you go to pick it up, okay? So it could be a ball, it could be like a button looking thing. Lots of options for knobs. You can make a decorative knob, so you can make it like a character of some sort, a squirrel, a bird, a unicorn, whatever. Just gonna make a simple one today. You just press down like normal. It's almost like the Karate Chop Loser, except it's just your fingers. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's see. Want a little bit more, I think. So if you can tell, I'm barely getting my fingers wet. So I dip it in the water and then I rub it on both fingers and then flick it. So it gets as much water off as I can, but my hands can still glide. Okay. I think that's good. So just use my rib and tidy things up just a little bit. There are shape 0 ribs that are the red ones that are even smaller than this. If I had one out right now, I'd be using that. But I don't. Clean up that edge. Actually, I think I want a little ridge in there. Guys, I'm gonna make it a little fancier. So I'm just gonna, a little ledge in there. So I'm gonna push this down and then just have that kind of pop up a little bit. But you gotta keep really steady with knobs. Worst case scenario, if a knob messes up, you just cut it off and put a new one on. So that'll be a nice little spot for glaze to kind of settle in and look cute. Here we go. Okay. So if you had a lid that was a little bit too wide or something, you can always trim off the edge. If you want it to be a smooth transition between the two, as you do the lid, that's when you want to create that smooth transition. But I think I'm fine with this. It'll be cute. I can't pick it up by the knob right now. But you do want these to dry on top of each other. And you want to put them through the bisque kiln and the glaze kiln touching. So at some point I'll do a video of how to glaze a pot with a lid, because it is a little bit different than just a normal pot. The long and short of it is, anywhere your clay could touch, you want to wax so that there's no glaze on there. So like here, on your entire gallery, okay? Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.